Three, two, one. Broadcasting tape delayed from McDonald's right down the street from my house. The Sports Economy Show is on. I'm Bill. This is Ryan, and we're here to pump you up. Today's show is all about women's basketball and the endorsement deals, specifically three people: Angel Reese, Clay Beckers, and Caitlin Clark. Did a show about Caitlin Clark's endorsement deals, but since it's a big deal, we'll cover it again toward the end of this. But we're going to start with Angel Reese first. Is that correct, Ryan? That's where you want to start?
Yeah, we can start with her. She's the most controversial, I guess you could say.
That's why we're broadcasting from the McDonald's right down the street from my house. Because guess who sponsors Angel Reese?
McDonald's.
Right. That is one of her sponsors. So I've got a list of them. I'll go through and we'll just discuss them, each one. How about that? You have a list of them? Or you just talk about what I've got?
I've looked at the list, Zach. We can go off what you got. Oh yeah, we'll obviously get into the Reebok deal because that's our biggest one. But
that's the first one I got. So Reebok, and Angel's going to have a signature shoe that's going to be released next year, 2026. So what do you got about that?
Oh, well, I'm sure they'll give her something special, or make a lot of effort to make it for her, because I don't know how many other women are sponsored by Reebok. I'm sure there's a couple, but Reebok's not, big time like Nike, but it's decent, and I think Shaq might be the CEO of it. He owns a lot of different companies, and then I seen where Allen Iverson is up under him. So
okay,
and I got a feeling the only reason Allen Iverson got that job is because he's made more money off Reebok shoes than anybody else for them.
So Allen Iverson was a Reebok person.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any current NBA players that are Reebok sponsored that you know of?
I can't think off the top of my head, but I know there is.
Okay. It's because Nike gets all the best players. Because they're willing to pay. But anyway, so that's a great deal that she has a Reebok deal, So I'm sure she's making quite a bit of money off of this. So anyway, her next sponsor is McDonald's. McDonald's is the most famous fast food restaurant in the world. Did you know that?
I hadn't seen the statistic, but I kind of figured. I'm surprised it still is.
Yeah. Well, I heard the other day on the radio that when the current president, Donald Trump, went to Saudi Arabia, they brought a McDonald's truck there. Did you hear about this?
No.
It was like a food truck. It was a McDonald's food truck. So evidently that's a big deal in Saudi Arabia that they got a McDonald's food truck. So, and the best part about it is Angel Reese has a special signature meal. It's called the Angel Reese Special. Did you know that? Will you be getting one tomorrow?
Yeah, I've seen her commercials, a couple of her commercials.
Yeah. I may go get one right after this show since I'm broadcasting from McDonald's. I'm going to go say, hey, I want the Angel Reese Special. How about that? They come with a Coca-Cola? So, all right. Anyway, here's a list of a couple of other ones. She has partnerships with Beats by Dre, which is a very popular headphone, would you say? Have you ever had a set of Beats by Dre?
Yeah, I got like two different pairs.
Really?
Yeah.
How much are they? Like $300-400 each?
Not the big ones. The one that go over years. Those were probably 200 maybe.
Yeah.
That's been so long ago. And then I got the
Okay.
little earbuds. Those are
All right.
probably a little under 100, close to 100.
Woo, man.
I didn't buy those though, so
Okay.
it was a gift.
Yeah. Anyway, she's sponsored by Topps trading cards. Here's a big one too. Goldman Sachs. You ever heard of Goldman Sachs?
Mm-mm.
It's a large investment company and bank in New York City, right down the street from the WNBA headquarters. Yes, sir. Goldman Sachs is a big deal. I would say they probably have several $1 trillion under management. So she's a sponsor for Goldman Sachs. All right, just a couple more. The best one of all. This is the one that I really like. She's sponsored by Reese's. I saw a picture on the internet of her in a Reese's uniform or something. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. So that makes sense, wouldn't you say? If you were the marketing person for Reese's to say, hey, we've got a WNBA player that we can sponsor with Reese's. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they made a Reese's uniform for her.
Yeah.
You know,
Anyway,
so
I assume, I don't know if it was just fake or if they made it, but anyway, she was wearing, it was like, the Dun Kings uniforms that they made. It was probably something similar to that. Okay, next up, Paige Beckers. I thought her name was pronounced a little differently, but I just heard on TV where she's playing in the kickoff WNBA basketball game in Minnesota. Her name is Paige Beckers. She's the #1 pick by the Dallas Wings. Where did she play college basketball at, Ryan?
University of Connecticut.
Yeah. Connecticut's a big deal.
Best coach in the history of women's basketball.
Yeah.
Coaches.
Yeah. Connecticut's a big deal. So here's a couple of her sponsors. Nike. Said she signed a multi-year deal with Nike, including a player edition shoe. She is also the first NIL era college athlete to design a shoe with Nike. I would not have guessed that. I figured they would have went with some man, wherever, instead of a woman's college player. But then again, she plays at Connecticut. Connecticut's a big deal. Ally Financial. You ever heard of Ally Financial?
Yes.
Yes. I had a loan with Ally Financial for something that I purchased. So Beckers has a recent deal with Ally Financial. Beckers signed a deal with Unrivaled, including ownership equity, becoming the first active NCAA athlete to do so. So ownership equity in a company is a big deal. So anyway, they're expecting great things from her for PR purposes. Gatorade. Everybody wants to be sponsored by Gatorade. So she was the first college athlete to sign an endorsement deal with Gatorade. I would not. It's unbelievable. I didn't know all this stuff. Yeah. See, you're like, what? That's what the internet says. That no, they'd never signed an endorsement deal with a college athlete. But once again, though, players have only been getting sponsorship deals for 3 years now. So it's kind of understandable. Anyway, have you ever heard of Panini America, Panini trading cards? Yep. Anyway, it's a big deal. They sponsor quite a few athletes. Bose, Duncan. Remember the Super Bowl ad with the Dun Kings? You don't remember that. It was a big deal. You do remember that, Ryan? No.
You said Bose, and then you said something
Duncan.
else.
You've ever heard of Dunkin' Donuts?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So she's sponsored by Dunkin'.
Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts.
I was just bringing out the whole Dunkin' thing for the Super Bowl commercial. Anyway, so all right, so let's skip that. Verizon, some company called StockX, don't know what that is, and Intuit. And two, it's a big tax service.
I'll tell you what that is.
Do what now?
Also, I can tell you what StockX is.
What is StockX?
It's a website where they sell shoes, very expensive
Oh.
shoes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Um, it's mainly like special edition shoes.
Okay.
So they'll drop, and then they only make so many of them. You know, so they're very high priced, and then a lot of people will try to get them as soon as they drop.
Oh, really?
Uh,
All right.
and it's like a lottery, so not everybody gets it, even if they got the money to buy it. If you get it, and then they resell it for more because everybody wants them because there's only so many.
Yeah. The secondary market of tennis shoes and other expensive shoes. So anyway. So anyway, Paige also has partnered with Sarah V, Madison Reed, and Chegg. So right out the gate, Paige Beckers has quite a few endorsement deals. So, well, the thing about it is, all these endorsement deals on here several years ago didn't exist, but now everybody wants to get on the WNBA wagon, right?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. All these financial institutions are getting in now.
Goldman Sachs is sponsoring a WNBA player. Hey, that's where the money's at. If I had it to do all over again, I literally would become an investment banker because that's where the money's at. Telling you. It's not on a small YouTube channel like Sports Economy. It's not working a regular job. It's investment banking, baby. So anyway, speaking of small YouTube channels, hey, we're big in India and the Philippines. Just gonna let you know. And I'm working on getting the channel out into Mongolia. You know, hey, there's people there. They can like and subscribe. That's what we're all about. All right. Now, Caitlin Clark. I did a show on Caitlin Clark's endorsement deals, but we'll go over them again because she's making a lot of money in endorsement deals. Because they don't make very much money in salary. You know why they don't make very much money in salary?
Because they need more.
Huh?
They can't afford to pay them anymore what they were.
Yeah, because what the deal is the only way you make money in salary is people have to watch your games. They have to buy tickets, and they especially have to buy merchandise. So the more popular they become, the more people that are going to be buying their merchandise and going to the games and buying these TV packages. Like the NBA had just sold a $76 billion TV package. Yeah.
The WNBA hasn't ever turned a profit. They borrow a bunch of money from the NBA.
Yeah. Well, the NBA owns the WNBA, the franchise. But if they keep getting endorsement deals like these,
it could help.
Then eventually they'll start turning a profit. You know, I mean, like,
and then,
huh?
And then they won't have to rely as much on the WNBA to pay them, and they'll get more off endorsement deals.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the deal. That's where it's at, man.
They just simply can't pay them more.
Yeah. But for whatever reason, all these years, they've never made any money. But now everything seems to be going toward them making more money. So anyways, all right. So Caitlin Clark, either the hero or the villain, depends on which side of the internet you're reading. So she's got an 8-year deal with Nike, and they're paying her $3 million a year. That's a pretty good deal, you know. And we did a show about the Jordan brand of Nike outsells just Nike in general. You know, we got about 50 or 60 views on that channel, on that video. So did pretty good. Yeah. Wilson. Do what?
Most popular one. So I think that's our most popular one so far.
Maybe so. Maybe so. I haven't kept track of who's on what. I just keep track of all of them. So anyway, Wilson, clothing and sports apparel. She's sponsored by that. They're the ones that have the basketballs, right?
Right.
Wilson provides the official ball for the NBA, the NFL, US Open, French Open, WNBA, AVP, and NCAA. So they provide the official balls for all these sports. Gatorade, back to Gatorade. Anyway, you remember that commercial with I want to be like Mike? Probably not. Anyway, it was a Gatorade commercial. So Caitlin has a multi-year partnership with the sports drink brand, and Gatorade is owned by PepsiCo. And PepsiCo is the third largest beverage company in the world. So the third largest beverage company in the world is now wanting to be associated with the WNBA. So things are looking up. Patrick Mahomes Insurance Company. You know what Patrick Mahomes Insurance Company is?
No.
State Farm.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I knew that.
He doesn't own it, but he might as well. He's on it every other hour.
I thought you made it sound like he started one or something.
Well, that's all. You wouldn't know it, but by watching, it's like, oh, that's Patrick Mahomes Insurance Company. So anyway, Xfinity, which is a telecommunications company. Anyway, do you know about Xfinity NASCAR series?
Mm.
It used to be called the Busch Series. Now it's called Xfinity.
Oh.
It's on the CW on Saturdays, generally.
Okay, yeah, I remember the Busch Series. I don't keep up with NASCAR enough to realize they changed the name.
Well, you should. You should keep up with NASCAR. Anyway, it's on the CW. The CW is near and dear to my heart, okay?
Busch Series sounds bad.
There's a financial services company called Gainbridge that sponsors Caitlin Clark. Panini, just mentioned Panini, which is that sports card company. And the big one, the biggest one of all, is Eli Lilly. They just call it Lilly now. It is the largest pharmaceutical company in the world, and it's based in Indianapolis. And Caitlin has a sponsorship deal with them. They also sponsor the Indiana Fever because they have it on their jersey. So anyway, so things are looking up as far as all these companies sponsoring all these WNBA players. You know, now they're getting to where they can start putting people in seats in these large arenas. So, you consider going to a WNBA game at some point in your life? Nope.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I don't know. I mean, I do travel a lot. I guess I could. I'm trying to think of like the one nearby, and there's not. But,
There's not.
Yeah.
Anyway, what you'd have to do, get the Fabulous Sports Babe to say, hey, we're going to go to a WNBA game. And the Fabulous Sports Babe will say, Ryan, I don't even know if there's a place that exists near here we can go.
Go watch Indiana versus Chicago. That'd be
hey, there you go. It's going to be on TV on Saturday night. I'm not sure what channel it's on, but it's probably on ESPN or it may be on ABC. But yeah, that's a big kickoff for the season. They're going to have Indiana and Chicago playing. So rivalries, they need rivalries to keep people's interest in these games because if they don't have any rivalries, it'd be like the NBA. Do you know, are there any rivalries in the NBA anymore?
Yeah, I mean, it's not what it used to be. Like, yeah, they're still gonna put a Lakers versus Celtics game, but on TV. But it's not like they don't have the in-conference rivals like they used to. There's no Detroit and Chicago really anymore because Detroit's been bad. And Chicago's up and down.
Yeah.
I mean, Detroit made the playoffs this year, but they've been bad for the last.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time they even made the playoffs since like 06, since they won the championship.
It's been a long time, but yeah. There are no rivalries like there used to be. Like San Antonio was a rival with LA and with Golden State and the Lakers and Sacramento there for a while.
So like now they got like so much star power. It's about this star versus that star, like LeBron versus Luka. There's no team rivalries anymore.
Yeah.
That's what they sell the tickets on.
Yep. That's the way it is. So all right, well, this is the beginning of the 2025 season. Things are looking up. They got a lot of sponsorship deals out there. There's a lot more interest in the WNBA than I have ever seen in my life. And the WNBAs have been around for almost 30 years. And this year is the biggest hype they've ever had for the beginning of the season that I can think of. So
they're definitely expecting a lot. All these companies see a future by
yeah,
investing, you know,
yeah,
in the endorsement deals. So we'll see.
yeah. They just signed a new TV contract too, because when the NBA signed that large contract, the WNBA got a contract too for television. So anyway, you ought to check my video out on that one about the TV contract. So, all right, well, that's all I got for today's show, and we'll have this posted right before the Saturday night WNBA game starts, so you can watch this video and the games at the same time. So, you got anything else to talk to us about, Ryan? We good?
That's all I got.
All right. Well, so long, everybody. Remember to like and subscribe. We need to go zillion dollars so we can buy a McDonald's franchise and sponsor Angel Reese.
So long, everybody.
Y'all come back now. Here